Okay, real quick. I wrote a book. It's sci-fi, neither woke nor anti-woke, and it's about a young woman named Kara who's abducted by an alien who has a plan to use her to preserve humanity from its inevitable extinction at the hands of an invincible space army. But since Kara doesn't care for humanity, the question then becomes, how does one who doesn't want to save the world end up possibly saving it? The book is called Perfect Worlds, and it's up on Amazon right now. You'll find ebook, paperback, and hardcover editions. I hope you enjoy, but if you don't, that's totally my fault. Alright, we're talking about Joker, Folie, Deux, which I likely pronounced completely wrong, so I'll just call it Joker 2 from now on. Let's get started. It's no secret that Joker 2 didn't perform nearly as well at the box office as the first Joker film. What made the first film a big hit didn't carry over to the second film. Fans wanted to see their favorite villain be a villain, and instead they only watched their favorite villain be consistently embarrassed by prison guards. And really, we didn't need to see Arthur going along with the guards' pranks.
The guard said you wanted to show me how to kiss. But they said Joker's a really good kisser. Nobody's ever gave me a kiss before.
And we certainly didn't need to see Arthur constantly taking abuse, especially after a guard is shown as being nice to him.
All it took was you getting a little old-fashioned.
Thanks, pal.
That's really an inconsistent image, and according to my OCD, it should be consistent.
All it took was you getting a little old-fashioned.
Thanks, pal. Not guilty by reason of insanity makes no sense in this case.
While in prison, Arthur should be shown as holding a certain amount of respect even from the guards. Maybe they don't like him, but they do respect him. After all, he's not his Joker persona right now. He's the shy Arthur Fleck. And we see a hint of that respect when one of the guards enrolls Arthur in a song class because Arthur has shown good behavior. The guards' mistreatment of Arthur seems like an attempt to parallel the mistreatment Arthur was receiving in the real world in the first movie. We don't need the abuse angle anyway, with Harley there encouraging Arthur to be what she calls the real him. Harley is in a fight for Arthur's soul, but Arthur's lawyer is bringing reality into the fight, and Harley doesn't like that. Speaking of which, there's an absolutely wonderful part in the Joker 2 trailer that shows Harley drawing a smile for Arthur, but this part was altered in the final cut of the film to include the song that Harley was singing. And I'm not saying the song is bad, but what we could do is move the song to earlier in Arthur and Harley's conversation.
I'm pregnant.
What?
Why do birds suddenly appear?
Again, that's not like the movie's trailer, and we feel that the movie trailer had the better version of that image. So let's move the song so that it ends during the conversation.
They long to be close to you.
My lawyer says you're playing me for a fool.
Can't you see what she's doing?
And we'll simply restore the dialogue from the movie trailer.
She doesn't care about you. I do. I want to see the real you.
Do you see how moving the song not only gave us back that brilliant image from the trailer, but also fit in very well with the idea that Harley's singing is a show of Arthur's mind breaking from reality? Whenever Harley sings, she influences Arthur to side more with his Joker persona. We know this because Arthur tells Harley to stop singing once he renounces his Joker persona and fully sides with the reality that he is Arthur Fleck. In this alternate cut, Harley sings, which breaks Arthur from reality a bit. Then as the song comes to an end, Arthur comes back to reality when he repeats what his lawyer told him.
My lawyer says you're playing me for a fool.
Remember, Arthur's lawyer represents reality, while Harley represents fantasy.
You don't really think he's just gonna walk out of here, do you?
Yeah, he's gonna walk right out of here. With me by his side.
And then what?
And then we're gonna build a mountain
A what?
from a little hill. You don't really think he's just gonna walk out of here, do you?
Yeah, he's gonna walk right out of here. With me by his side.
You're not listening. We can win this case, and she's gonna f it all up.
Which is why we feel it's better for Arthur to come back to reality as Harley's song, Here, ends.
My lawyer says you're playing me for a fool.
Of course, Harley argues that Arthur's lawyer doesn't care about him, while she does care. And it's great seeing her paint that smile for Arthur as she begins to pull Arthur back into the fantasy, displaying more of the tug of war going on within Arthur as he goes back and forth between reality and fantasy. And what is it that finally breaks the fantasy for good? In the original cut of the film, it's the guards beating up on Arthur that causes Arthur to renounce his Joker persona. But this beating feels as if it was inserted into the film, and it doesn't feel like an incident that occurred for the first time in Arthur's prison stay. Arthur even implies that he knows what the guards are about to do to him, which shows that this is not the first time the guards have done this to Arthur. And if it's not the first time, and if Arthur expects it, then it's not a valid way to break Arthur from his fantasy. That break needs to come from something different, something that surprises Arthur. That break needs to come from Gary Puddles.
You expect us to believe that your last name is Puddles? Puddles?
Mr. Fleck.
Gary Puddles was Arthur's friend in the first Joker movie, and Arthur killed someone who was being mean to Gary. Arthur thought he was protecting Gary, but as it turns out,
Never used to be scared. I'm scared right now here. It's you in front of me.
in the original cut of the film, after Gary tells Arthur how Arthur made him feel, Arthur pushes back on Gary and even jokes around a little.
I felt so small. I was reminded how powerless I really am.
Oh, you got a flair for the dramatic. You are tugging at my heartstrings, little Gary. No more questions, Johanna? The defense rests as well, Johanna.
Pardon? Mr. Fleck, you don't want to put on any defense.
No, Johanna, the defense rests. That's all, folks. All right.
But what we can do to make Gary's testimony more powerful is show Arthur as not joking around anymore once he hears Gary tell him how he made Gary feel. This is how we can see that Gary's testimony has a real effect on Arthur's behavior, because Arthur's behavior changes the moment Arthur hears Gary's testimony.
I'm scared right now here. It's you in front of me. I couldn't do anything that day. I felt so small. I was reminded how powerless I really am.
No more questions, Johanna? The defense rests as well.
Pardon? Mr. Fleck, you don't want to put on any defense.
Remember, in the first movie, it's stated that Arthur grew up wanting to bring joy to people, wanting to make people happy. So that is instilled in him, even while the Joker persona is present.
Both sides having rested, this court will recess until tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Now we see Arthur as super depressed and hating what he did to his friend, Gary Puddles, how he made his friend feel small and frightened when Arthur's intention was to protect his friend. And in this alternate cut, that is why Arthur, the next day in court, renounces his Joker persona. And you see how we made it clear that A led to B, which led to C. Gary saying Arthur made him feel small led to Arthur reflecting on his actions as Joker, which led to Arthur renouncing Joker because he didn't mean to hurt his friend. And the Joker persona is what hurt Arthur's friend. The Joker persona came from Arthur's world falling down, and Arthur discovering that what makes him happy is the world around him falling into the same chaos that he feels inside. When the world is in chaos and feels the same way that he does, Arthur doesn't feel so alone anymore. And when Harley enters his life, he doesn't feel alone. But he also doesn't realize that Harley is in love with Arthur's Joker persona, not Arthur.
Goodbye, Arthur.
Can I tell you a joke I came up with?
Is it quick?
Which is why this movie, Joker 2, should end with Harley rejecting Arthur.
Goodbye, Arthur.
There's no reason to go past that point, since this movie is about Arthur and Harley, about Harley presenting a fantasy that pulled Arthur back into his Joker persona. But the filmmakers apparently wanted to add an element concerning the Joker persona and how it becomes greater than Arthur to the point that others emulate that persona to an extreme. But any extra element concerning the Joker persona is just that, extra, which makes it unnecessary and, ultimately, a distraction from what the story is really about. As a writer, it can be tempting to make things more complex than they need to be. But we really need to be careful not to add a needless complexity that only serves to confuse the audience. We should remember to keep in mind what the story is about and allow the ending to fit with the story, and not feel like something extra that seems purposely unclear. What is clear, though, is that Joker 2 could have shown more respect toward the villain.
That's all, folks.